police officer.
What was going on? Tell us about this location where this happened and what was actually going on.
Okay, so it occurred just outside of the hotel in the 4120 Fulton Industrial, and the officer said that he had seen someone jaywalking in the area, and he's pulled out on a suspicious person stop. And it was at that time Lieutenant Cook actually pulled up, and that's when the shooting actually occurred.
You talked a little bit about it's been a tough week.
Right.
How are you guys dealing with it? How are your deputies? We just talked yesterday.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that.
You know, it's been a rough week. As you all know, we lost Lieutenant Garcia earlier this week, and now with Lieutenant Cook, we haven't been short on support from everyone throughout the region. Right now, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, along with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office, is assisting us with 911 operations. As you can imagine, a good portion of the police department is down here at Grady supporting Lieutenant Cook at this time. And so the outpouring of support that we've received from many of the agencies in the region has been outstanding, and we're going to continue to build those relationships with these agencies.
Chief, we just stood in front of you yesterday and talked about how you all don't know if you're going to make it home. Give us a sense of how his family's here. I think they're around.
Right, and so Lieutenant Cook's family just arrived down here at the hospital, and we were able to make sure that we briefed them. And we talked yesterday just about the simplest task that police officers were engaged in. Well, this officer just simply pulled up on an individual that was jaywalking to have a conversation with him. And it was at that point the individual opened fire on both police officers. And so things can change in an instant. And certainly we're praying for Lieutenant Cook in his full recovery. But, you know, at this point, we're going to let the Georgia Bureau of Investigation further investigate the circumstances surrounding the stop.
Anything you can tell us about the suspect?
Right now, we don't know anything. We've turned everything over to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, to the GBI, and so hopefully as their investigation progresses, we'll learn more. I'm sorry? Well, as I said, we're still in the preliminary stages with regards to the investigation, so actually who did the shooting that resulted in the fatal outcome for the suspect is still under investigation, so we don't know that at this point.
Can you talk a little bit about just the officer, how long has he been with the department,
Right.
age, and that type of thing?
Lieutenant Charles Cook has been with the Fulton County Police Department since its inception. He's one of those people that actually came in and helped us to build this organization. Prior to that, he spent most of his career with the Fulton County Police Department. And so he came over during that transitional period.
Chief, I know that you can only speak for your department, but since you do know that the Fulton County officer said that if Lieutenant Cook wasn't there, he may not be alive, can you give us a sense of how he's doing?
He's doing fine. He, as I said, his wounds were kind of superficial. And so in the conversation that I had with him, he was grateful that Lieutenant Cook was able to stop. We gave him our best wishes as I left his hotel room. I just had a conversation, as I left his hospital room, I just had a conversation with his mother and grandmother who just arrived at the hospital, and they're grateful to Lieutenant Cook as well for his assistance to their family member.
All right, last question.
Talk about how these situations escalate quickly, and you never really know
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, you have circumstances where an officer was just engaged in a pedestrian stop for something as simple as a person jaywalking. And before Lieutenant Cook, immediately after Lieutenant Cook got out of his vehicle, the gunfire erupted. And so, as you can imagine, I'm sure Lieutenant Cook wasn't expecting that, to happen as fast as it did. Fortunately, Grady personnel has been able to stabilize him at this point, and we're, as I said earlier, hopeful for a successful outcome here.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to go out to the scene. I'm sure some of my personnel out there probably has some general idea of exactly what occurred. It's just I haven't had an opportunity to sit down and debrief with them as of yet. That I don't know. Right. That I don't know.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you guys.